Have you ever had a great idea that you just didn't see through to the end? This was going to change the world, but you just got afraid and didn't do it. They say that the greatest ideas are buried in a cemetery. Today, we're going to try to motivate you to do that thing. Let's talk about it.
Oh, it's good. Good and terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terry Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to thank you and welcome to the New Life Tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel. You'll get it. Remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things.
Stop it. Get some help.
Today, we're going to talk about your ideas. Now, everybody has an idea, right? We walk around and one thing is for sure. Everybody on this earth has an imagination. You, at one point or another, pictured yourself having a business. You pictured yourself doing something great. Maybe you pictured yourself being a great singer or a great songwriter, a movie director, or even a screenplay writer. But sometimes we have this thing in the back of our minds, it's the subconscious most of the time, that stops us from seeing these things through. They stop us from doing what we're supposed to be doing in life. I want you to change how you think about these things. Now, I'm not telling you to stop working. Like, don't wake up tomorrow and just not go to work and try to fulfill your dreams. That's not what I'm saying. But in your spare time, in your free time, every time you have time, let's stop watching trash TV. Let's stop watching your TikTok videos for a few minutes. And I want you to start focusing on that thing that's going to change the world. When you have a specific goal, when you have a specific gift, rather, or a talent or a skill, I want you to look at it a different way. I don't want you to look at it as your skill, your talent. I want you to look at it as something that was given from maybe a greater power. I don't know. If you believe in God, then your God gave you these gifts and talents for a reason. And if you keep it for yourself, that's selfish. That's right. I called you selfish. I want you to look at it. If you do not gift wrap it and give these things to the world in some kind of way, I want you to look at it as you're stealing from the people. You're keeping the world away from your skills, your talents, and your gifts. Stop being selfish. And all because of, this subconscious of yours that's stopping you from doing it. Now, why would our subconscious keep us from doing great things in the world? Because sometimes it's the way we were raised. We were raised to think we were good enough. There were things that happened to us in the past. Maybe we wanted to do something and we let our parents know that, hey, one day I want to do this. Maybe they said, okay, yeah, that's ridiculous. Okay, come on, let's do this because this is what we're doing right now. From that point on, you thought that thing couldn't be obtainable. Now, I'm a black man. Last time I checked. So if I woke up in the morning 20 years ago and say, hey, I'm going to be president. Yeah, right. Okay, come on. Let's do what we're doing today, right? But now we have the ability to wake up no matter what color, no matter what creed, no matter what nationality we are, as long as we were born on this soil, we can be president of the United States. And that's great because it was impossible until it was made possible, if that makes sense. So when we got our first president that looked like this, now the floodgates are open, right? Now the possibilities are there. Do you get what I'm saying? And I want you to look at your gifts, your talents, and your skills the same way. If you're born with something great, or if you've developed something great over time, I want you to gift wrap it and present it to the world. You're being selfish by keeping it, right? You're being selfish by getting into other things and not putting your focus on that thing when you have it. I understand that we have family and we have, other things going on. We have to take care of bills. We have to take care of this and that. I'm not being ridiculous. I know we have to do these things. However, um, all of you know, and you know I'm telling the truth when I say we find time for the things we really want to do.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Don't we? I'll give you an example. I'm writing a book right now. I'm in the stages of writing it. Actually, I'm writing two, but there's one that I'm kind of putting the finishing touches on right now. And you say, Brother T, it seems like you're so busy. How can you ever find time to write a book? I agree with you. I have stuff going on all day long. I do not stop working until I go to sleep. From the time I wake up to the time I'm asleep, I'm working on something. Save for when I go to the gym or something. It's the only time I'm not working. So how can I find time? What I did was I decided to start waking up a little earlier. What I do is I wake up 45 minutes to an hour earlier than I usually would wake up, and I dedicate that time only to writing. Do you get where I'm going with this? I'm not trying to promote the book yet because I'm not far enough along in it. But what I'm trying to tell you is I found time for that because I put it high on my priority list. So if you take your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your gifts, your talents, your skills, I don't know what you want to call them, but if you put them in priority and you start raising the priority of them, you will find time. Now, it wasn't easy waking up earlier, okay? It wasn't easy to decide to do that. But I decided to do that because I took it seriously and said, I really need to start writing this stuff because I've been through a lot these last few years. And I know it's going to benefit somebody in the long run. I gift wrap one of my gifts and one of my talents, which is the ability to convey and express myself, especially in written form. And I'm going to present it to the public. Why? Because I want people to see what I've been through. And if they, if they, if they're drawn to it, or if they're connected to it, or if they, if they go through the same things, it could help them out. It could help them learn how to stand through adversity and hard times. I'm giving it to them as a gift to the world. I'm trying not to be selfish with one of my gifts. Now, there are times where you're going to think, maybe in the midst of that project or whatever you're doing, and you're going to say, man, I don't know, man, once again, that's your subconscious trying to tell you that you're not good enough. What I want you to do, I want you to ignore that voice. Sometimes you have to kill that other voice. You know what I mean? You have to suppress that voice and you have to finish the work. Now, would everything work out exactly the way you want it? No. However, I almost guarantee that you will not regret it if you put it in perspective and you put it higher on the priority list and you knock those things out. You'll always look back and say, hey, nobody bought the book, but I wrote it. Okay. If I affected 3 people, that's fine with me. If I affect 3,000, 300,000, 3 million, it's all the same to me. Of course, I would like the 3 million people with the money attached. I'll take that any day. But you get what I'm saying. It's all about presenting your gift, your talent, your skill to the world. Don't hold back. I don't know what you're doing out there. And if you want to start a business, a lot of times what I suggest, start the business on a smaller scale, especially if you have a job, right? And you work hard and you really don't have a lot of free time. Start that business while you're still working. You don't have to quit your job and make some crazy leap of faith like that. Just do it on a smaller scale. Whatever that business is, don't start off too big, right? Start it on a very small scale. And there's something in business called a proof of concept. What you want to do is you want to make sure that this is a viable business and make sure that people want to spend money with the business. Prove to yourself that people want your product or service. Once you establish that, then you can start growing little by little. If it gets to a certain point, then you can maybe quit your job if you have enough income or enough, not revenue, but enough, profit, or if you're taking a certain salary out of it. Once that equals or surpasses what you're doing in your regular job, then you can make that decision. But overall, my point is, I want you to make sure you do that thing. Do not lay it. We don't want your great idea buried in a cemetery. We probably had the cure for cancer in that cemetery, right? Somebody probably had the cure for cancer. They probably were going to be that great doctor, and they probably never went to medical school because they thought they'd never be a good doctor. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm sure. Think about how many people in the world, and think about how many people have passed. Do you really believe that there's not one person out there that's ever been more talented than Michael Jordan? At basketball, we're talking? I don't know. Maybe he became a drunk and didn't make it to the league. Maybe he died early. There was a guy called Ben Wilson. He was going to be the next great basketball star, and he got shot to death, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Gift wrap your skill and talent, present it to the world. This is your man, Terrion Wilson, aka Brotha T. I'd like to thank you for coming here, and I hope you got a little motivation out of this. If you didn't, then check the next video because it's going to be motivation. If you watch me long enough, your life is going to change for the better. I almost guarantee it. I can't guarantee it, but I can almost guarantee it. This is your man, Terrion Wilson, and I'll check you on the next one, family. Peace.